All right, peace, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. This is, I believe, I got to be honest. I don't know if I'm on day 15 or day 16, but I believe I'm on day 16. If you've been following, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I'm on day 16 of my 30-day consecutive live. We're here, right? And today, no short of a lack of things to do. I've been had content day today. We've been running around shooting content pretty much for the most part of the day. Somebody says 16. 16th. I'm on my 16th day. Thank you for being here. If you've been here the whole while, thank you for taking this journey with me. Support is always needed, right? Um, if I don't have anybody to speak to, this is no fun. So support is always needed. Thank you for taking this journey with me. I have already learned some things on this 16-day run. I've learned some things about myself. I learned some things about our audience. So this was a good 16-day, and we still got. This is only halfway. We're a little bit over the halfway point, so we still got 14 more days to go. Let's make it an interesting one. If you have topics, let's cover those topics. All right. So as I was saying that it's been a busy day. It's going to continue to be a busy day. I'm on this live now. Then Wednesdays is my weekly training call for my community. We meet, and that is where we'll meet as a group. We'll talk about things that goes on in the community. We'll talk about deals that we have funded with my 5K fund. We'll talk about deals that they bring to the table. If they're good deals, are they not good deals? We'll green light deals, we'll red light deals. That's what I like most about it. New people will come. We had some new people coming to the community over the past week. We had a handful of investors come in. So I'll get a chance to introduce them to the group. They'll get a chance to get acclimated to the things that we do inside of the community. Very, very helpful group, very friendly group, and everybody kind of looks after everybody. If you need help, they're quick to help. So this is really, really a busy day for us. And Wednesdays, that is our busiest day of the week because of that call. And we stay on that call as long as possible, or long as is needed, long as everybody gets their questions answered. That's how long we stay on that call. So let's dive in to this topic today. This topic today, top things to make money with raw land, right? So the Acre Boys have shown you how to go out and find land for a discounted price. Now, whether you want to do what we do, and that's flip land, clearly that's on the table to do. That is an option. However, our program is designed just to show you how to get it at a discounted price. You cannot flip land if you don't get it at a discounted price, naturally, right? But for those that may not want to be land flippers, we run across people that say that as well. I'm looking to come across some land so I can do some things that I desire to do with it, keep it in my family. So why not get it at a discounted price? Still makes sense. So let's talk about how we can make money with just raw land, right? I jotted down a couple of things because there's a whole bunch of things that could be done with raw land. Clearly, and y'all can drop them in the comments if you think of things that I don't or didn't mention, some things that could be done with raw land. As I stated, I don't walk around like I'm Mr. Know-it-all. I know what I know. I know what I experienced the time that I've been in this space. So if there's something that I don't mention, drop it down in there. I love to hear what your thoughts is on this because there's a lot of different things that could be done with raw land. At the top of that list. By the way, we had our live. If you missed that live last night, I promoted it. We did our live and I stated that I was going to show you where you can find properties for $1,250 that was sitting in neighborhoods where homes were going for $250,000 all the way up to $750,000. That's what, if anybody was on that call, drop it in the comments that you was on that call, and you'll be my testimonial that exactly what I said you'll see is what you saw. It was a really, really powerful call because we had a young man on that call, 26 years old, and He thought to come spend some time with me on an 8 o'clock call. And I actually let him in the community for a huge, crazy discounted price. I didn't give him the program for free because I don't like free, because I believe once I give it to them for free, they don't do anything with it. But if I make them, I cut him a lot of slack, a lot of slack. And I gave it to him really just enough so he can say, I'm paying for it. When they pay, they value things. But I was very impressed that he was 26 years old and interested in hearing about this space, because that is the future of all of this. Our message caters to 35 and up, right? That's what our message, that's what our analytics, that's what our data says. We cater to 35 and up. Clearly, we get some that's a little younger than that, but I like when I'm able to reach the youth and gentlemen, all women that's in their 20s. That's we let another young lady in. She was 22 years old in college. We let her in for free. So we love to do those kind of things when we run across the young, right? So the age that we're at, we need to take this message, learn it, and take it so we can pass it down to our offspring. That's why we do this, so this message can live long and live on. All right, but let's get back to it. Things that could be done at the top of that list. This is just my opinion. This is not sketched in stone. There's a lot of things that could be done with land. But in my opinion, here are some of the top things that you can do with just raw vacant land that we've seen work too as well. Clearly, you can flip land. I've been flipping land for the past 8 years. That's one way, a quick way to generate income, right? A lot of people have dreams of doing things with their land once they got it, but you need resources to do some of these, I won't say outlandish things, but to do some of these things that they feel like they want to do, whatever their dream is for their land. You need resources unless you're able to barter. And most of us, right, the barter system in our community, it's a little shaky, it's a little broken. So we need resources. That's at the top. We have to find a way to generate income so we can do some of the things that we want to do. So flipping land is one way that we can generate income, right? First of all, you need to get it at a discounted price, as I stated, to be a successful land flipper, right? Second, what can we do with land once we have it? We can farm it, right? We can farm on the land. Now, let's focus on that for a minute, because we do have a product line that's set to come out in about another month called Acre Boys Farming. I'm no farmer, but Acre Boys Farming, I'm smart enough that I went and I teamed up with a real farmer who has 15 years experience in farmer, who lives on a 30-acre farm and who heads an agriculture school in Atlanta, Georgia for grades K through 8. Very knowledgeable, right? So he's at the head of my Acre Boys farming program, and we're going to be showing people how to farm for profit. When we say profit, not just money. That profit means that we're going to be showing you how to just grow in general as a person. It will have a mindset component to that, because there's more to farming. To be a good farmer, it takes discipline, it takes consistency, it takes hard work, right? So there's more to just farming and just waiting to see profit from things. So Acre Boys Farming is a product coming up. Now, if you live inside of the city limits, you can still farm. We'll show you how to farm. Even if you live in a highly urban area, we'll show you how to farm from your windowsill. If you have a small plot in your backyard, we'll show you how to get in that. We'll be getting into vertical farming inside of our program as well. Look at Ray go, like I'm knowledgeable on farming. I'm going to be learning at the same time as you, but my interactions in this short span of time, I picked up on some of these things because I'm on the phone with my business partner and we discuss some of these things. But I'm highly interested in taking the journey along with you. So look out for Acre Boys Farming. We do have an Acre Boys Farming page. If you're on Instagram and on Facebook, follow that page, Acre Boys Farming, so you'll be one of the first to hear about that program. But that is something else that you can do with your vacant land. You can farm the land, right? If you have large plots of land and you on the outskirts of the city limits, Clearly, you have more flexibility of what you can do. You can get into all kind of farming, whether that's going to be pasturing or dealing with animals, horses, cows, whatever you want to get into. Raising chickens, that's something else, right? Inside of the city limits, if you have smaller plots, how about a community garden? Things like that. All right. And how do we make profit from those? You need to align yourself with someone that's looking to buy these products from you, the vegetables or fruit, whatever you decide that you want to farm. Align yourself with the neighborhood and let them know that you have it. Right now, in the state that we're in, a lot of people are looking for organic things that they can get straight from the ground and not off the shelf of the supermarkets. So everything takes a little bit of work. Just takes a little bit of work. You can do it, but once you have it up, treat it like a business, and that's where you start from and you grow. All right. Farming. Other thing, it's highly profitable. It's not my thing. What I'm going to mention next is not my thing, but it's highly profitable. Honeybees. I don't really want much to do with bees, but if that floats your boat, you can make a lot of money selling honey and dealing with honeybees, if that's your thing, right? Usually I'm going off the top of the head with this stuff, but it was a lot of things that came to mind, so I'm reading these things, right? Other thing that we can do with land is this is kind of like not so hard. You just need to own it and make some minor adjustments on the land. Is you can Airbnb your land. Did any of you know that you can Airbnb land? They're doing it all day long. You can Airbnb your land. One site that you can go to Airbnb your land is HipCamp. HipCamp, it's all kind of properties, small properties, big properties. You don't need a large piece of land to lease it out, right? Why do people go in there and they lease these plots of land out? Because in our culture, it may not be the most popular thing, but there's a whole slew of people that just like doing outdoor things and look for things like this. So you could take just a tenth. I've seen a tenth of an acre, which is a small plot of land, and they're Airbnb it on HipCamp for $50 a night. So let's hypothetically say you don't lease yours or rent yours out for the whole month. If you got 10 days out of the month, that's an extra $500. And the beauty of this is you didn't really do much. You didn't do anything. It's land. You don't have to provide, electricity or provide a kitchen, provide a space for them to set up a tent, pitch a tent, and stay there. It's attractive because the properties that do the best, they're usually within a certain radius of a major attraction, right? So let's just say an amusement park, a major amusement park, and people wanted to take their children there. A lot of people get a thrill out of just saying, we're going to camp here within an hour away from that major attraction, 2 hours away from that major attraction. Clearly, if you have more space, the price bumps up. Check out HipCamp and you can see it on your own eye with your own eyes, and you can see some of these properties that they're doing Airbnbs for just vacant land. If you make any improvements to that land, the price goes up. What's an improvement on vacant land? Some people, they put a small table on the property for people to have to eat. Some people make makeshift bathrooms on the property so they'll have a place to go to the stool, and it bumps the price up. It's a whole community that's into this kind of stuff. So you don't have to have this lavish big 30-acre plot to lease it out. Check out HipCamp and check out Airbnb your land. It's a great way to make some side money. Let's get into the next one. This one, in my opinion, is not that hard either. Everything that I named, it will take minor resources. It can be done. It will take minor resources. The next one is, how about ATV park or a bike park, crossroads, dirt bikes? All you need for that property, if you have a somewhat level property, the thing about what I like about the dirt biking community, they're not necessarily looking for level. They're just looking for trails. So all you got to do is create a trail, a dirt trail. You can have a guy come in and they'll create trails through your property, large acreage or small acreage, and they'll do that. I believe I got a quote on a property that we're dealing with. I think it was like maybe $150 an hour, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that. In your area, it may be a different price, but I got quoted $150 per hour to come to and clear some trails through. It was, I don't know what we had. I think we had 23 acres or something like that. But to put some trails through it, I got quoted $150 an hour. So how long does it take to put some trails? That's going to be subjective, depending on the property, what the property offers. Is it a lot of trees that need to be knocked down? Are you going to go around the trees? You have to worry about things like that. But those things, they're gold mines as well. Check out on Instagram. There's a community that look like us too. I like their page. I like what they got going on. Their page is called Throw That Dirt. Throw that DHC. Throw That Dirt. Check them out and see what they're doing. They have a whole ATV riding park on their property, and people come from state to state to come and get dirty. That's it. They're riding in the rain, sunny days, they're riding. They got music in the background. It looks super fun. Not necessarily my thing, but these are some things that you can do with land. So check that page out. It's called Throw That Dirt. And they keep a crowd. They have a good list of people. Yes.
There's someone at the door.
Go open it. They have a good list of people that come through there. So check that out. What else can we do? RV park. RV park is going to cost you. You need some resources to build an RV park. My thing with RV parks is, because I explored this idea, is you have to be in the right territory, right? You have to be somewhere where once again close to a major attraction, because people are not coming through your area or an RV park to build a to stay at an RV park if there's nothing in the area. They're not just gonna go across country to an area that nothing's going on and I want to put my RV here. It's not gonna happen. All right. So consider that. That's one thing. Give me 1 second. Let me just entertain somebody coming in. All right, sorry. Got to get back to it. I got a leak, so it's coming to fix the leak. All right, so we left out on RV park, right? And then mobile homes, right? People, we in our community, we frown on mobile homes, but they make a killing, right? If you have the resources to generate the mobile homes or mobile home parks, they make a nice killing, right? You lease out the land. You don't have to provide the mobile homes. You just need to provide the pads, and you lease out the land for each person to place their mobile home on it, and you charge them a monthly fee for the pads. I'm no expert on that, so I'm not going to dive deep into it. There's some guys that we're close friends with. They call it Mobile Home Elite. If you want to follow them on Instagram, follow them. This is what they do for a living, and they'll give you all the game about the whole mobile home play. All right. There were some other things that I jotted down. Clearly, if you own large plots of land, if you're on in a rural area and there's a lot of animals or like deer, you can hunt on the land. You can lease your property out to other hunters. That's popular. I've seen that done a lot of times. You can lease the property out to hunters to go on the property to hunt. I'm not sure if it's going to make a whole lot of money. I think that depends on the area and the price that you're charging and the size of the land. Solar farms. We're going to do, I think I'm going to do a whole live on solar farms. Not my expertise, but we have rubbed shoulders with guys that are into that business, and they ask us to send them things once we have those particular properties, because that's the wave right there. That is the wave. As AI continues and these AI companies continue to buy plots of land so they can set up shop, you're going to need more energy facilities. It's, trust me when I tell you, this is the wave. So if you can get into solar farming, you can make some. Now this is long term, generational money that can set you up for a long time. Because if the larger the land, and as long their contracts are lengthy contracts, and you don't have to do anything, they do all the work for you. All you need to do is be in ownership of the land, and they'll do all of the work for you. So solar farms, that's the wave, right? Really good, big money maker. What else? Clearly, here's one that I like. Here's one that we're going to do. And I've seen it done even in my area. Bounce house park for children. That's a good one. Bounce house park for children. They make a lot of money. You ever seen kids go to a bounce house by themselves? Or you ever seen parents bring a child to a bounce house by themselves? Typically, they bring a friend, right? They do really well. And adults, they're always looking to entertain their children. There's a bounce house around my way. They come once, I think twice during the summertime, and they calling it like the largest bounce house in this area. It's huge. They got like a couple acres, just bounce houses, and it stay packed out. They're charging like $39 entry fee. And the upsell on that is once the kids are in, right? You ever seen a kid go to any amusement park or bounce house and don't want something? They always want something. So they have like concession stands, and they're leasing out the concession stands, or they're making it themselves. So that's where they're making their additional money at. And they'll have like trails on there. I seen one around my way. They have in the summertime, they do like a pumpkin trail, or they pick pumpkins on the property, things like that. They do really well. Bounce house. That's right. Big Bounce America. That's a good one. That is a good one. It's not that expensive to lease out the bounce houses as well, especially if you can own them and over time use them one summer, then use them the next summer. And then over time, you'll get your money back. You may get it back off of one season. Just depends on where you're located at and how much traffic you can generate. All right. Another one. Clearly, oh, retreats. We didn't talk about retreats. If you own a large plot of land, 2 acres, 3 acres, 4 acres, or above, you can have a retreat on your property. That's pretty popular, right? That's just going to be designed about what you offer at the retreat, right? And you can, that's personal. I see a lot of women do a lot of women's retreats and things like that. I've seen some guys do it where they took guys in the mountains and they pray and they do all of those kind of things. So retreats are big. That's something else that you can do with land if you are in ownership with it. And last but not least, and we'll close out on this, we all know you can build on it. Build a structure, place a structure on it. Tiny homes, manufactured homes, stick built homes, all of those things are going to depend on where your property is located. Inside of the city limits, we said it 10,000 times, you're going to be restricted to what you can build. That's going to have to fall under the jurisdiction of what the county says, what is zoned for. Outside of the city limits, there's plenty of things you can get into. Tiny homes, as I stated, manufactured homes, anything that you want to do. We've seen it happen with raw land and rural land, unrestricted land. You state what you want to build. They all do well. Those was just some of my ideas that came to the top of my head. I'm sure there's plenty of more things that you can do with land. I know it is because I researched it, but for this live, that was just some of the things that I ran across that if I were to consider to do some of those things, it'll be on that list, right? Those things right there. Hope it was helpful for those that's looking to get a piece of land and make money off it. If you found that useful, right? Or if you do some of those things, write back or text back or DM me and say, hey, that was a good idea. I did it. I won at it. Parking lots. I came to the top of my head. Parking lots do really well too, and that depends on if you need a parking lot. Is it a need for a parking lot in the area, right? That's another one that you could do. So those are some of the things. What do we have going on? We can have tonight 7 o'clock p.m. I have my weekly training call. So I'm gearing up for that. As I stated, I hope this call was helpful. This is day 16 of my 30-day consecutive live. Drop in the comments what topics you would like me to cover next, and we'll cover that topic next because, frankly, I'm going 30 days straight and I don't want to think about what I think you may want to hear. I want to know what you want to hear, and so I can bring them to you. I like that. Picnic dates in the woods with sunsets in a gazebo or use the back of a truck. Yeah, that's a good one. Good one, good one, good one. Ideas are endless. All right. Anybody that's looking to take the journey, now we're talking about flipping land because that's what our program does, or just get it for discounted price. Text 1-877-250-7778 and we'll be happy to service you. Paintball. I like paintball. I love that one too. I've seen that one happen. We've seen the axe throwing, not my thing, but a lot of people set up on a recreational land like gaming, a whole gaming setup. That's also a good one too. It's so many things that you can get into. I just say get into it because, and culturally we set the tone. So once we get into it, we're gonna come up with some next level stuff that nobody has done. Tupac said, "I may not be the one that make the change, but I will be the one that spark the mind of somebody to come with the next greatest thing that you can do with raw vacant land." Promise you that. Smart homes. I've seen a young man, data scientist. He wanted to partner with us, and we may still can, but right now we have a lot on our plate to entertain it. But the smart homes, he wanted to put smart homes into tiny homes, making tiny homes the smart homes. I hope I'm saying that right. Right? I thought that was a good idea too. All right, y'all. She said, "Do you have the resource for the solar farm?" I do have the resource for the solar farm. As I stated, I'm going to do a whole Zoom call where I invite my solar farm guys, these reps from the companies. I'm going to invite them on and we'll pick their brain on a Zoom call. So if anybody that's interested in hearing about that solar farm play and things that could be done, things that's needed to do it, he'll break it down on that call. Just stay tuned for me to give notification when that call would be. It won't be anytime soon because we'll be traveling for the next 2 weeks. So it'll at least be 3 weeks out. But I will do a solar farm Zoom call with the reps of the company. All right. Peace. Love.